Are back now with Jane Wright Valez, and she's joining us from the Food Bank of Central Louisiana with some news on a awesome program that's happening this summer.
Well, I want to talk about some other programs about
okay.
that we've got going on. We have had some cuts to our grants through all the federal cuts that have been going on. Our AmeriCorps grant was cut, and so we lost 10 people at the food bank, and we've also had loads of USDA food that have been canceled. So the food bank's really struggling at this time to keep up with things that are going on. We've had a state request of funding in partnership with Feeding Louisiana to help us buy food from local farmers to be able to share with our neighbors. And so we were hoping that request would be funded at $3 million, and then there's a snafu in the state legislature, so we're still pressing forward and asking our state legislators to make sure that request is actually funded. The session ends tomorrow, so it's crunch time there. And then the other news is that the big beautiful bill that's now in the Senate in Washington is proposed. There are cuts proposed to SNAP and Medicaid programs, the largest cuts in history. And so we are very, very concerned. We're asking people to contact our senators, Cassidy and Kennedy, and to let them know how devastating this would be. One of the proposals is that the states would actually have a cost share in the SNAP program based on their error rate. And for Louisiana, annually, that's $283 million that we don't have.
Wow.
And so, and it's state by state based on error rates. It's a huge issue. And while we're all about accountability and being efficient with every dollar that we get, and we want the government to be the same way, we are so concerned for our neighbors and for, quite frankly, our food bank operations, because when these programs are cut, our families don't have anywhere to go, and they turn to the food bank and our partner agencies, and our supplies keep getting cut. And so it's a very uncertain time. And so we are asking our friends here in Central Louisiana, our neighbors, everybody to reach out and let them know these are not good cuts for our people in Louisiana. Louisiana relies heavily on federal funding, especially for these programs. It's really, really concerning.
Yes, ma'am. And kind of what position does that put the food bank in, being the main source, for feeding people who don't have?
Well, our lines are longer now. Our neighbors are having to wait more because of our AmeriCorps folks that were the heart and soul of our mobile pantry program. They're not there to load those cars or pack those bags, and so we're asking people to volunteer. We've had some great response from area churches and other folks coming in to volunteer and help support us. But our neighbors are having to wait longer now. These cuts, if they go through with the SNAP and everything, those will take place gradually, but those numbers will increase the number of people coming to us, and so that puts more people asking for help from the food bank and puts a greater strain on our resources.
I gotcha. So, we're usually talking about feeding people in Sin-Law, but this goes way beyond that. And so
yes.
Just want to get everybody's attention. And how can they get in touch with you guys?
Well, you can always give the food bank a call. It's 445-2773. You can reach us on our website, fbsinlaw.org. We're putting some messages out on social media. We've got some sample letters and ways that you can contact our senators and our state legislators to let them know how important these resources are.
Well, thank you, Miss Jane, for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. And we'll be back right after this break.